Hey, thanks for checking this video. Today I just want to share and document my current collection. Quick backstory is I started off with the N64 as a kid, got that for Christmas. A couple years later I got a Game Boy Advance SP, and so I played those a lot as a kid. I started collecting around high school with VHS, PS2, NES, things like that, and I've been collecting ever since. I ended up selling out the VHS collection, which was basically a whole other shelf, lots of great titles and special editions. I sold that off about 5 years ago just to make some room. I also had a Game Gear and Genesis collection, not too much, but I ended up selling those off as well because I wasn't as nostalgic about those, so they were kind of the first to go when I need some space. I had both systems in box and a few games. This is kind of the first place I lived where I was able to put everything out on display nicely with clean shelves and well presented, so I figured I would share it with all of you and hope you enjoy a little tour. Start up here. A couple months back I was playing through the Arkham games, which was a lot of fun, and I found this pop up for sale, one of the special edition figures, so I figured I kind of had to grab that since I was in the middle of the game. It's the Joker with all the light up TVs behind him. GameCube box. Unfortunately, I don't have my original box. That got lost somehow or thrown out. I'm not too sure what happened. It's the one box that I bought brand new that I don't have, unfortunately, but this one I have is Zelda Special Edition, so that's kind of cool. N64 box, NES Action Set, NES controllers in the box, which is pretty sweet. That was from a local game store that unfortunately shut down. A couple N64 controller boxes that are empty. Wii U gamepad. This I made a video on a long time ago. It's basically an off-brand NES wireless controller. It has the thumbstick kind of like the NES Max and turbo buttons. It's surprisingly comfortable, even though it looks a little weird. Sticker is always sicker, if you know the NES Pursuit. I got a Power Glove a few years back for a pretty decent deal. I also have the sensors as well. I really love that. Down here is the first four figures Majora's Mask display. The light up eyes and stand. It's a really high quality figure for a really reasonable price, so super happy with that. I have a TurboGrafx 16 box. Just the box. I don't have anything else to do with TurboGrafx. I just found that for cheap years ago and kept it as a display piece. Quickly run through my DVDs. I pared these down over the years to things I want to rewatch and things I like, so I just want to try to keep it inside this one shelf to keep it under control. A couple amiibos, little light up VHS tape I made when I was collecting VHS. Nothing newer, just things I've held on to for now. We can run back to the top here with Wii U and Wii games. Not a ton, but some good titles. Skyward Sword Special Edition with that golden Wiimote. Super Mario All-Stars on the Wii. That seems to be pretty collectible now. A couple more amiibos. PS4 and Switch. Switch I've only had for a few months now, but I've amassed a pretty good amount of games over those couple months. All were at pretty good prices. Had a couple of duplicates end up with and trade those off for more that I didn't have, so I'm really happy with the collection I did make so far. PS3. I've never been super into the PS3, but there's definitely some games I want to play through at some point, so I collect a few of those. Little Galaxian tabletop game. I got so long ago at a garage sale. I tried it at that point and it did work, but you use 4D batteries, so it's not the most convenient thing to pull out and play. Down here, I have Atari games. I have a video touchpad in the box, which is pretty cool, and a decent amount of games. I played a number of them, and lots of them are actually pretty fun, so that's awesome. Down here, I have a Club Nintendo Platinum reward. It's a big pin set. Shout out to CJR on YouTube. He recommended that whenever you buy DS games at the time when Club Nintendo was a thing, take the codes of them, see if they've been used. If they haven't been, throw them on your account, and that's how I got a Platinum reward one year. A couple Xbox games, Halo 1 and 2. I had a couple more, but I ended up selling them because I didn't really use Xbox, so I just kept the Halos because might as well. Little hoverboard figure, I believe it was a Loot Crate item at one point, and this is just the case for Cards Against Humanity. We can run up to the top to NES. decent little collection, nothing crazy, but some good ones in there. A little multi-cart, Castlevania, Contra, Donkey Kong, DuckTales, one of the Mega Mans, Metal Gear, Silver Surfer is a pretty hard but fun game. Mario's, of course, Yoshi, Zelda Link, and a Game Genie with a couple Game Genie books up there as well. Over here I have some NES game boxes, not in great shape, but that's alright. Super Nintendo controller in the box, cleaning kit. On the left I have an N64 promo VHS. In the middle there is a expansion pack in the box. The sealed one is an RF adapter. And then some NES boxes. Sorry, N64 boxes. Over here is something I really prize, because it was a prize, from Living in 8-Bits and Mixnuts Productions. A couple of DVDs with a bunch of the episodes and bonus discs on them. And they would sign them. So a lot of the cast and guest members in there sign these, and it's something I really, really appreciate from them. And it's even got AVG on there, which is pretty sweet. So really appreciate that. Thank you, Mike. Next up is GameCube, one of my favorite systems. I have most of the games people look for. I'm still missing Pikmin 1 and 2 and Chibi Robo, which is unfortunate because they really jumped up in price, and it's the games that I would really want to play, but hopefully I'll find them in the future. A couple of Amiibos. The Luigi's Mansion figure, I'm not sure where that's from originally, but I got locally, secondhand. I really like that because I love Luigi's Mansion. A couple of Club Nintendo cards. The Donkey Kongas, Eternal Darkness, Final Fantasy, all the Zeldas, Luigi's Mansion, of course, Metroid, Mario Parties, Sonic's, Sunshine, Smash, a couple of Desired RPGs, Skies of Arcadia, Tales and Symphonia, things like that. Most of the ones you expect. Next shelf is some more miscellaneous system games. I have the soundtrack for Ocarina of Time. That was, I think, the first Club Nintendo thing I got, I believe. I only have a couple Super Nintendo games. Yoshi's Island, Mario, Bomberman, the Famicom, Legend of Zelda. I have a Funko from Iron Giant. See a little Hogarth in there. Love that movie so much, so had to get that when I saw it. The Game Boy box in the back. Most of these are from childhood, other than the Pokemon ones. I know back in here, Harvest Moon has jumped up quite a bit in price, so it's kind of cool to have that from my childhood. I do have SpongeBob Game Boy Advance SP. It's in pretty rough shape, but it's kind of cool to find that because I believe it's a little bit uncommon. N64 games, nothing crazy. Cruis'n World, Donkey Kong, Pokemon Snap, and both Zeldas, Tony Hawk, Turok, Spider-Man, as you can tell from the red cart, Yoshi, things like that. This orange case here is all my Game Boy stuff and console. I'm not going to pull it out because that'd be a big mess. Couple original Game Boy and Game Boy Color games, mostly SP. I have a gray and blue SP box back there. Next, we can go to 360. This shelf is just the face of it. There is another row right behind it, but I'm not going to pull it out because that would be kind of a mess, so I'll just show you the front row. In the back, there's what you'd expect: Assassin's Creed series, most of the Battlefield and Call of Duties, Dead Space, really great series, Dragon Age, Fable, Far Cry, things like that. Some really good stuff in there. Mass Effect, Gears of War, of course. Most recently, I got Resident Evil Revelations 2. I played the first one. It's really good. So I got the second from P&P Games. Really excited to bust that open and play that. Next up, PS2. I've got, again, it's another whole front row and back row. I'm not going to pull it out because it'll make a mess. In the back row, things like Baldur's Gate 1, 2, Devil May Cry series, all the God of Wars, lots of GTAs, Hitman series, Kingdom Hearts, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Metal Gear Solid, things like that. Front row, got Metal Slug Anthology, which is pretty cool. Ratchet and Clank, of course. I think Red Ninja is a little bit of a hard to come by game. Silent Hills, things like that. Tony Hawk, blah blah. Katamari, of course, the big hitters. Xenosaga 1 through 3. Lots of these RPGs I actually found at a thrift store for $5 a piece. A whole pile of them. It was an insane deal. I couldn't believe it. So that's where I got lots of these more expensive RPGs from. And as you can tell, I have just the amount of games to fit, so somewhat recently I picked up Okami, but that stays up top because I have nowhere to put it in the stack. That's alright. Down below we have 3DS and DS in the back where it's too dark to see. Some decent 3DS games in there. Luigi's Mansion was awesome. Zeldas, I've played through those multiple times. A couple RPGs, things like that. Mario, Paper Mario, Chibi Robo, Amiibo bundle thing. Little Ocarina, my 3DS and games are in there in the case. I'll pull these out so you can see the DS games in there. Chrono Trigger, Dragon Quest, things like that. I've played both Legend of Zeldas multiple times. Loads of hours into Mario Kart DS and high school, of course. All the Mario Luigi games are amazing. Got some of the Pokemon, Professor Layton, stuff like that. Pretty sweet. At the bottom here, we have Laserdiscs. I have one CED or RCA Selectavision, whatever you want to call it. I found that in an IT store actually, so I figured I'd just grab that for the heck of it. Most of these were bought in big bundles because you don't really see Laserdiscs around here much. Most of these I honestly have never heard of. I don't know what they are because it's way before my time. But there is a number of movies that are amazing in here that I do know of and watch. Like Naked Gun, Lethal Weapon, there's a Batman, Planes, Trains, Automobiles, Dumb and Dumber's in here, Jumanji's right there, Die Hard. There are some really good movies in here, just lots of them I don't know, honestly, so. Awesome. Lots of movies I have to go through in there. So that is basically the shelf. Next we can move over to the TV. It's a 55-inch flat screen, nothing crazy. Back here I have my Animal Crossing Edition Switch and the 2600. Up front we have all the systems and stuff. Basically everything is ready to go. HDMI stuff is on an automatic switcher. RCA things are all ran through this switcher. Just turn on the TV, the console, plug in controller, click the right button, and you're playing. So we have the Laserdisc player. Don't have a remote, unfortunately, but it is auto flipping, so you don't have to get too much. PS3 and 4, the Wii U and 360. This is a Star Wars edition, so of course it makes R2-D2 noises, which is pretty fun. And one thing I didn't notice till this year is the little thing it says on the disc tray. I never noticed that for all the times I played it till this year. PS2 Slim, original Xbox Crystal. That is modded to play a bunch of old games, which is really nice, especially with the 4 controllers. GameCube, I do have all 4 Wavebirds. It's kind of a life goal, no big deal. N64, SNES, and we got the NES. Now, I'll come over here. I do have a decent amount of Special Edition 360 controllers, because they made a lot of them, of course. I believe the red and blue are just custom cases, I don't think they're anything special. The gold is from that Star Wars 360, the C-3PO. We got a couple of Halo controllers, Halo ODST, and my favorite, the God of War controller. I wish I had the system itself, but the controller is beautiful. It's in a cool little 360 portable case. You can throw some games and stuff in there, as well as the controllers. Now the hidden secret is in the coffee table. Take this, lift it up, and I have more controllers. Basically I have 1 or 2 of different systems, so I can play anything I want pretty easily. For the Wii U I have the Zelda Edition tablet there. And yeah, I do have lots more controllers and random boxes and cables and all assortment of stuff packed away that I can get to easily, but I just figured to keep 1 or 2 of things out here, so it's nice and easy to play what I want. And that's basically the tour of my collection. So I appreciate you watching. Game on.